Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the seventh Candid Talks with Moms. Today, I have a very special guest who is not just a good friend to me, but she is a multifaceted lady who has been doing various things, not just in the field of coaching, but also in empowering women. Yesterday was Teachers' Day, and it's said that the first teacher for any child is their parents, and obviously, mothers play a very big role in that. So, a very happy Teachers' Day to all the mothers as well as in the teaching profession, be it coaches, trainers. I am now, without any wasting any time, Sandhya in. There she is. A warm welcome to you, Sandhya. Good evening. Can you hear me now?
Hi, good evening, Farida. I think it's an issue with the moment I go live, the sound goes. Otherwise, I was able to hear you very clearly. So
Okay. So now you can hear me?
I can hear you very faintly now, but when you were speaking, I could see you live and I can hear you very clearly. So is there a technical reason why Bluetooth is not working on a live session? I am not too sure. But
Okay,
can you
actually,
hear
I
me?
don't. Yeah, I can hear you very clearly. And I guess you should have done without the Bluetooth. It would have been better. Just the
Is
phone without
speaking
anything
okay?
is great.
Yeah.
So, if you can hear me, you want to continue or you want to try it again? Can you hear
Without the
me now?
Bluetooth.
Yes,
I
can you hear
cannot
me?
hear you. I can just lip read you right now. I cannot hear you. It's very faint. But when you were speaking alone without me getting patched up, it was absolutely crystal clear.
Okay. I don't think so. You need anything like a Bluetooth or even a hands-free. You're just your mobile and you can just talk on. Nothing is else is required.
Okay, let me switch it off and then.
So today is not a very great day. We are having a lot of issues with technology. Please bear with us. This is a new norm with technology, I believe, and most of us have got used to it. And just as you say, there are pros and cons. Technology has its own pros and cons. So there are times when even when the kids are doing their online schooling, they all of a sudden get logged out. So bear with me while she tries to log in again and share the screen. So in the meanwhile, I was just talking about Teachers' Day, and most of us who are parents, who are mothers, who have been the first teacher for our child, and it's not just the schooling or the academic education that we impart to them values, we impart to them a lot of other things which are not taught mainly in the school, like manners, how to behave with adults, how to take control of your feelings, giving them self confidence, and so many different things which we actually are teaching our children. So we are one of the first teachers for our kids, and same goes to our parents who taught us a lot. So a happy Teachers' Day to all the mothers. And while I'm waiting for Sandhya to get back online, I hope all of you all are doing well in your respective lives. And even though the pandemic has really put us in our homes, most of us have been able to get out of our comfort zone, like facing the camera, doing things that we never did before. Like we say something, when God closes one door, he opens another window, and I feel the pandemic has just done that. Most of us who are especially in the teaching field have been able to do a lot because of technology. So I'm just going waiting for Sandhya to now uh, join in live with me. She is a communication coach. She is also an MC. At she does presentations and has a lot of feathers to her hat, and I am really happy to be inviting her today to speak to us about her journey post motherhood and how she's managed her coaching profession. So please hang in there. Thank you. Sandhya, you can add yourself to this because I don't have the option now to add you. I can't see. Okay, 1 minute. There, it's come. Hear me clearly, and we can go ahead with the session. Hi, welcome back, Sandhya.
Finally, I can hear you with this headset.
Okay.
Thank God. Okay. So I think there's some issue with the Bluetooth which does not accept the live. Thank you so much, Farida, for being so patient. I know Facebook is really tricky when it comes to live sessions, but you've been incredibly patient with me. This is really challenging.
No, it's definitely, we've all got used to it. Like I was just saying, just like technology has its own pros and cons, the you need to bear
Yeah,
with it. So I'm
I
so
know.
happy and thankful to you for accepting the invite to be on the Seventh Candid Talks with Moms. And like I was
Very
telling
kind.
them that you've been doing a very you've been doing so many things and have so many feathers in your hat. So we would definitely like to hear from your mouth about your journey post motherhood. So over to you, Sandhya. Do enlighten us about your journey post motherhood.
I think it's thank you so much once, Farida, that you invited me for Candid Talks because that's something I love, and you know that I love conversations any point of the time, any time of the day.
Yes.
So yeah, Candid Talks is always welcome for me. But technology is one thing that I think that's one fear that I'm kind of developing. That oh my God, ye live ho jaye bus. So you know that's one thing that I think I never had fear of anything other than lizards, and now think the second is technology for me. So yeah, thank you so much, and thank you for all the wonderful words that you said about me. I guess the whole journey has been creative, and creative pursuits has kept me alive. So that's one in a nutshell. That's what I look at my life journey as. If I look back 44 years now from here, it looks like oh my God, this woman has much. And
Okay, again we've lost you.
can you hear me? I thought the video is paused.
Yeah, the
You
video
can
got
hear me,
paused.
right?
Now I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay. But you can
you were
hear
saying
me?
about
Okay, correct. So, after Drishti was born, my daughter is now a teenager, and after she was born, I think I went to an identity crisis, and I know most mothers would relate to it because suddenly you actually don a new hat which you've never been prepared for. You have been told about how to manage a corporate life. You're taught there are so many trainings for that. You're taught how to be a daughter-in-law. वो तो आपको बचपन से prepare किया जाता है that this is how you should be a daughter-in-law, and this is how you should take care of your family, your husband, everything, right? But nobody teaches what transformation happens to you after motherhood. And that was very challenging for me because I don't know if my parents know about it. I definitely went through a huge hole, almost like a blank space when I took a sabbatical from my career. I felt it's this is the end. Though I love to be a mother. If you ask my mother today, she would say that इसको तो हमेशा मम्मी था. So anybody would ask me what do you want to become, I would say mummy banna hai, ghar sajana hai. This is always my doll stories, if you call it. But mummy banna is such a task, is something that I'd never fathomed in my life. So yes, it was a transformational journey for me. It started from where Rishti was born, and then I took a sabbatical in 2008 from my career. And a year, I think it took me to understand what parenting is all about, and what are the couple of challenges that I am facing and how do I overcome it. But I guess 5 years down the lane from there, I did create my own company called Drishtikon. Not exactly 5 years, I think 7 years from there. So 4 years from there. So 2008 is when I took a sabbatical. 2012, Drishtikon was established. 4 years, yes, it was difficult. It was difficult to understand what is my identity. Do I have an identity other than being a mother? Or do I just stay a mother the entire life? That was a question. Yes.
Wow, and I'm sure all those who are listening to us, or maybe who will listen to this recording later on, they can really relate to it. That nobody really teaches you how to be a mother. You just slip into the shoes as soon as you are a mother. Okay, now I'm a mother.
Absolutely.
There you have the child in your hand. And seriously, there are so many things that you go through. And when you've taken that sabbatical and you've not really planned anything, then I can understand, what it is. But then what
Correct.
inspired you to start Drishtikon, or what inspired you to get into the coaching, take up coaching as a profession?
Correct. Now, if you ask me that question, Farida, to be very frank, I really don't know. So, post that, whatever happened in my life was all very unplanned. People who are listening to me would feel that this is so stupid, but I have always spoken about plan A, plan B, and plan C. For some reason, I always worked on that mechanism. Okay, that ye nahi chala to wo nahi chala to ye, but never give up. That's something that's inborn. I wouldn't say anybody helped me with that. I was born strong. I was born to never give up. I would fight it myself, maybe inside the bathroom, and cry out my tears rolling down. I'd write poems and take out my angst and do everything, but I never wanted to give up. That's something that was innate to me, and that was something that I was born with. However, Drishtikon, 4 years down the lane while I was doing that, I did many things. I learned parenting. I read a lot about parenting. I attended parenting coaching and workshops. And in fact, I also then did my train the trainer certification. So I did everything that I could never do while I was doing this corporate life, and all unplanned. Okay, so one suddenly I would see an ad and I would be like, okay, let me go ahead and do this workshop. I would end up doing that workshop and realizing that, oh, acha, theek hai, pata nahi, how am I going to use this? So this is how I kept doing a lot of certifications when I took my sabbatical. But thanks to that train the trainer, Farida, I should actually thank that mentor, Amit Sadana. Amit, if you're hearing this, this is for you. What he did with voice and accent training with me is, the first thing I told him when I met him is, VNA is not meant for me, and I am a South Indian. I don't think I can do VNA. You're choosing the wrong person. But he said, you know what, you wanted to do anyways, train the trainer, and you are a very good speaker. Why don't you just try? Give it a try. I'll teach you presentation, but VNA, I'll leave it to you if you want to specialize in it. And he was one trainer. I think I don't see a lot of trainers doing VNA TTT. He was one trainer who actually did a VNA TTT. So I attended the training, and you won't believe my certification day. He tells me just before the day, he says, you are meant for being a VNA trainer. You're very good with it, and you're going to do a final presentation on VNA. So he made me do that. He ensured that I actually present a VNA presentation, the finale. And I told him, I said, this is disaster. You are ending up my career as it is confidence zero hai. Us pe aap meko finale pe VNA training ka certification uske basis pe karoge, that teach back is going to collapse. And but something just transformed overnight. I really don't know how I did so well, and I got that certification of being a VNA trainer. And next morning, I started actually training with IBM, because he had already spoken that and I had no idea that he had that belief in me that I can take up that training. So this ended on Friday, and Monday onwards, he tells me that you're supposed to take a batch. So this is how my transformation of a trainer, my journey of a training started. Okay, so that's how I started, and I did a lot lot of trainings for VNA. You know that I've been known as a VNA trainer. I've worked extensively as a VNA trainer in Gurgaon.
Yes.
From there, when I was doing these trainings, I did, meet a lot of women who had taken sabbatical and come back to work. I used to meet a lot of women who were trainers, and while I was meeting them, and I realized that the gap in teaching and facilitation is huge, because I used to teach more like a facilitator, enjoy, make it fun process, make it more enjoyable. And because I'm very conversational, that I would try to get all the activities and fun elements. And I was always told to be fitting in a box. Every time these training heads would come to me, they'd be like, Sandhya, isko kaat do, just make it structured. I cannot structure like that. I cannot work like that. I know the goals, I know the outcomes, but you cannot put me in a box. Sandhya was not made to be fit in a box. So, that's when I started my first Train the Trainer program. And and that was even before Drishtikon was established. So Train the Trainer program happened, and a lot of women came to that program of mine. It was done co-hosted by one of the VNA trainers in Delhi as well. That is when I decided that, okay, at least let me get into this area and start doing the Train the Trainer programs, because that's a huge gap. And I started doing that. While I was doing that, I started meeting a lot of women, because these are different open workshops that I started conducting. And interestingly, what happened is, while I was meeting all these different women in different platforms, I realized that there was a huge scope of mentoring, because something that I was struggling with in the last 4 years, there were women also going through similar issues. And so that's something that I took a call on, and I said, okay, let me start that. But Drishtikon, the reason why Drishtikon was established was because I never wanted to then go back to work. I was very sure that I may not be able to leave my daughter. I really wanted to then take care of her. In that 4 years, one thing that came up to me was, okay, I love being a mother, and I love enjoying the process of, taking care of the child, and ensuring that that's a whole process. It's a wholesome process where you do A to Z. So there is a destination in place where I want my daughter to go, and I need to take that. And that destination was to ensure that she gets a holistic approach from a mother's side, where we say that it's an initial stage of motherhood. I wanted to ensure that I give that to her until she's 10 years. I should be available to the child. That's something that got to my head in that 4 years. If there was any identity crisis, but this especially got into my head, that come what may, I'm not going to compromise on Drishti's time ever. So that is something that happened. And so while I was doing these TTT programs and open workshops, that's once one of my clients told me that, do you have a company? Do you have something where we can bill you? And that's when it struck me that, oh, okay, I should have a company of my own. And one thing was, of course, clear, that I never wanted to go back to the corporate, because I thought they would never understand what a mother goes through. Though Amex as an employee was super supportive, but I still felt I would not be able to do justice to Drishti. So Drishtikon got established in 2012 around Women's Day, and so I then started my open workshops for women. That's how I started. So only 2 programs I used to do. Have open workshops called Communicate to Achieve 3 Eyes, and the second one was Train the Trainer programs, which was VNA specialized. So I think during that time, nobody actually did a VNA TTT, but I was the only one other than Amit doing those kind of programs.
Wow, lovely. So, Sandhya, how is the transformation from, being reporting into someone and being your own boss?
Interesting. So the first one, where you're reporting to someone, you definitely have people around. But the second journey is a lonely one. And I know most of the entrepreneurs would relate to it. As
Okay, you've frozen again. Sandhya, your video has frozen. So,
can you hear me? Just lost you.
we
hear me?
lost you. I can hear you, but the video. You need to repeat whatever you said in the last 1 minute.
Hear me
or so.
now? Yeah. Is the video clear? Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So what was I trying to say? Yeah. So yes, the transformation from
Again, it's frozen. Can't hear you. Okay. Yes. It's like
is
coming
only,
and
when
going.
you are, can you, okay, is that better now?
Yeah, just yes, it's better. Now repeat. Just repeat your
Yeah,
transformation
sure,
wala
sure.
part.
So what I wanted to say was, as the journey of an entrepreneur is always alone. And I say always alone because yes, you do have your people who support you. You do have your workers who are working with you. But when you're working under somebody, you always have a team where you can go and bitch around, crave, wine, do everything. You have unconsciously you have a support system where you can stand on the coffee station and at least bitch around your boss, right? But you can't do that when you are the own boss. So that's
Any
one
bosses
thing that I
listening to
realized.
us?
So yeah, you should go. The coffee station is the place where you get all the news. So sutta break, and that's where you get all the news. So these are things that I used to miss when I started working on my own. I realized, oh my God, coffee doesn't taste the same anymore. Where is the conversation? Where's the bitching? How do I crib about the boss? How do I crib about my coworker who's looking very good? And how do I talk about the same suit that she's wearing every other day? These are small things that you enjoy when you're working under someone. So I definitely started missing that. So I still feel that it's a journey alone. There are times, Farida, that as an entrepreneur we do go through difficult times, financial, of course, and you know that as a single mom, it's much more challenging when you're handling finances and ensuring that the rest of the expenses are taken care of. So recently, there was somebody who was discussing with me, and in fact, she got inspired by the way I talked about single parenting, and she has put a post on Instagram where she said, can single moms ever think of leaving their jobs? Because yes, we can't. As single parents, we cannot be out of jobs, we cannot be out of business, we cannot be out of finances. We always need to be working. But yeah, of course, some people who have managed their finances well can. But the reason that we take that journey is because of stupid and blunders that we have done, right? So there are times that finances are not good in place in business, and you can't tell it to everybody. Facebook is not a place where people want to hear this. Seriously, we do say, we speak up, talk up. I actually say that to a lot of women: create a community where you can talk, you can share these problems, because these are problems, these are real
Yes.
problems that a budding entrepreneur goes through. And that is exactly how my coaching journey also, Farida, started. Initially, people used to call it mentoring. Then back then, when I used to do communication workshops, I a lot of people used to call it mentoring. But slowly, when I moved up that journey and moving towards ensuring that my workshops are happening full time, my workshops are happening in the corporates as well. I became a motivational speaker and started getting invited on many platforms. I realized
Wow.
that this is one thing that women actually don't. Women I specifically don't talk about, and no entrepreneur talks about the struggles. Is it's a lonely journey. It's something that you handle it yourself. You don't share it with so even if you share it with family. For example, I come from a middle class background, education background, simple family. My father's worked with the government, my mother's been a teacher. I can't expect business acumen coming from them. They can advise me on how to deal with people, but they can't tell me how to grow in a business. They can't tell me how to go and put your ads. So there are times when in Gurgaon, when I started the company, wo pamphlets hote the na newspaper mein, the inserts that you do. I used to go to that newspaper center at 4 o'clock in the morning to ensure that inserts are done in each newspaper. And while I was doing that, the enjoyment and the thrill was so much that you don't realize that you're actually alone. But I did that, and if I look back today, I'm like, oh my God, what was I doing that at that newspaper center? But I used to go at 4 o'clock in the morning to ensure that all my inserts and pamphlets of Dristikon are going inside each newspaper and it is delivered. So the only transformation is that, and I wish we had more open communities. Though we have a lot of startup and entrepreneur communities on Facebook, but it's more about promotions. Nobody shares what actually each entrepreneur goes through when they're handling it single-handedly.
So thank you so much. I mean, you open-heartedly shared something which people really, you know what, they know, everybody feels that somebody's going to judge me, and we all want to show that we are all very successful, and nobody wants to
Correct.
talk about, okay, something is not working. Okay, how can I talk about my failures? Just like we all want to only talk about success, but we never focus
Correct.
on the failures, and who wants to focus on it? But without those failures you cannot be successful. When we've tried 100 times, when we failed 100 times, that one thing worked for us. So like you're talking about
Correct.
the newspaper ads, okay, I've also done all of that, and sometimes you feel, I don't know who must be even reading them. And so I thank Facebook actually, because it's made it very easy for us to do marketing and things like that.
Correct.
And you rightly
Yes.
said, most of the groups are only about promotion, promotion, promotion. So where people can feel talk, it's not there. And yeah, one of the thoughts is obviously one of the reasons why we're having this candid talks, so that the other women who are listening to us, they know that there is nobody just reaches the, you know, the senate of their career or their profession just like that. And we can at least encourage our fellow mothers that, you know, nothing is going to come in a platter. We all need to work towards it, and we all are like, you
Correct.
know, the journey starts from somewhere. As long as you make a decision that I want to do something, now whether you take a
Correct.
mini step towards it or you take a leap towards it, just take that step, right?
Correct.
So wow,
Absolutely.
it's really nice speaking to you, Sandhya. And so obviously when initially things are difficult, but now when things pick up, we start feeling that, you know, all of a sudden we don't have time. Like for me, in this pandemic, cooking was such a big challenge because I have not cooked. I've always had my
Ah.
cook. So you know, we start outsourcing. Now obviously you can't outsource motherhood. So how did you manage motherhood and your business?
So initially, when I started, I did have a 24 hours help. I always had a 24 hours help because that's something that I definitely understood after my C-section that I would need that support, and I think thankfully that time my family also supported that decision. A lot of mothers that I met in my journey, they were not allowed to have those 24 hours help. क्यों रखना है,
Yes.
किस लिए रखना है, that kind of things. But for me, thankfully, nobody ever objected. So I did have 24 hours help always. Having said that, but I made a promise to myself that if Drishtikon is because of Drishti, then Drishti is not out of it. So I will have a time period. I had a time period of 9 to 1, and that is how I used to work. I always used to tell people no meetings after that. There are times if there were, meetings after that, I would take Drishti along with me, and I think that is one reason why Drishti became independent, because she was almost like child on the wheels, picked up from the bus stop and then going to the other meeting, and while sitting inside the car she's getting changed and she's having her sandwich, and she sat with me in boardroom meetings, she sat with me in all the meetings. So there are times that I've done that, but very strict rule that post 3:30 I am not going to be part of any meetings. Jo karna hai phone pe kar lo. And there were side effects of that. There were a lot of people, especially women, who actually pulled me down, saying that this is not how business is done. But I really cared two hoots about it, because yes, there were a lot of women who actually pulled me down, saying that this is not how business is done. We also have kids and we are managing. I said, that's your life choice. You made that choice. But if Drishtikon exists, it exists with Drishti. That's something that I was very clear of. So if Drishti is not given that time, then that Drishtikon does not exist, because it was created for her. It was created by me for her. It's a legacy that I created for her. So there is no way I was going to compromise on her timing for my business. So that's something that I'd made my very, very clear. So so for me, work life balance, one, is a myth. I don't think anybody achieves it. It's like you have to prioritize things in your life. Sometimes you want to spend more time with your daughter, you kind of move away one junction and move away one activity here and keep the other activity dormant for the day. And sometimes you have work important, so you kind of convince the child that mama is going to come back and complete this work with you. So there are certain things that Drishti also was taught. Not only did my colleagues or work people working with me understood, I also ensured that Drishti also understand that mama is working, mama has this time, and there are times that she wanted to watch a particular thing on television. She was also taught to be compassionate and share, not share with only her friends, but also with mama. So if she knows that there is a television show that mama loves and I have come back after a tiring day, she would automatically change her Chota Beam and allow me to watch that. That's something that was taught to her. So that co-sharing space was created not only for her friends but with me also and the other family members for her. So I guess for me it was easy because I'd kept that balance both the side to ensure that she gets the best and I also give my work the best, whatever I can in that time period. So initial days, of course, that was easier. But post I moved to Bombay, it was tougher for me, Farida. It was Bombay, is very tough in terms of travel time. And Dishti had, of course, grown by that time, and she was 10 years old. So I moved her to a residential campus because I really felt the way I could, carry her, take her to all the extracurricular activities in Delhi very easily, shuffle between my coaching sessions and jump into her karate classes, or also depend on my neighbors for helping me with those chores. I did not have that help in Bombay, so I had to put her in a residential school so that she does not miss out on these activities. So that's one thing that I had to do. Not all single mothers do that, but I had to make that conscious decision because Mumbai, I would not have been able to manage that time with her. But now in the pandemic, she's with me. So a couple of things, of course, she's grown up. So there are a lot of things that we've managed between both of us that, sweeping is something that she's very comfortable with. So she goes ahead and sweeps. But the fact is, the only that fact that she's moved, become a teenager today, she also sees me as an inspiration. There are times when she says, no, you go ahead and take that call. Why are you doing it for me? I'm okay. So that transformation has happened in years because she's seen an independent mother, but she's also seen her mother being available for her. So because she's seen that, she's able to understand the value of my work. So she saw that I value her, so she understood the importance of valuing my work also. If I did not give her that opportunity to value her, I think she would have never understood the value of work. So that's something that got inculcated in these years with her, that you see somebody value something so much, and I was able to balance the work and Drishti at the same time. So she also started loving the work that I do because she thought, Mama ka ye khatam hote, Mama's time is mine. And time is mine mean really time is mine, Farida. You know that I don't attend calls after some time, and I keep having fights with a lot of groups about this, and I'm very clear on this that post 9:30 you call me, I am not available. Sorry, you feel bad about it, I'm okay. But post 9:30, 10:30 is my daughter's time. Nothing in the world takes away that time from me. Unless, it's an international call and I have initiated that conference call because, of course, international time standards are different. But I don't do that. So I think that's few value systems and few boundaries that I created for myself. Otherwise, it is very difficult for you to do that.
Right, right. So nice. So thank you so much. You've shared such good inputs, especially about managing your motherhood, managing children, and so we as women, as mothers, can really do a whole lot of things, provided we really know what we want in life and how to prioritize things. So that was really nice
Correct.
of you to share so many personal and sharing so many things which are not just personal, but we can take and learn from it also.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was it's wonderful, and I can go on chatting with you, but I'm sure the you must be having other priorities also. So before I let you go, I just had one last question for you. Is that what would your one tip or suggestion be for the mothers of our group, and is there anything that you would like to offer to the members of the
Perfect question to ask. So, like a gyani, हम लोग को ज्ञान देने में बहुत मजा आता है, right? No, but this ज्ञान comes from some experience that I had as a mother, as a career woman, as a professional, as a speaker, as a mentor, guide, whatever you want to take it, or as a friend, confidant. One thing that is available is I'm telling everybody out here, and I've done that in many groups. If you are struggling with something, please do reach out. Though I may not be somebody who can immediately answer you, because like I said, I have my boundaries, I have my family time, but I do also have that commitment to the society, that something that I did not have, or something that I did was not available to me, is I can make it available to you. So if you are struggling with something, please do write to me. There are times that when people write to me on Facebook, it goes to the other spam, so do ensure that you write to me again so that it comes to my inbox. And one thing, and so that's an open offer. I may not have solutions for you, मेरे पास कोई जादू की पिटारा नहीं है कि मैं आपको दे सकती हूँ. But what I can give you is, of course, unconditional compassion and understanding of what you're going through, and this absolutely free of cost. I'm not saying this because I'm a counselor, I'm a psychologist. I'm saying that because it's just that, a woman to woman talk, or a human being to human being talk. It's just about that conversation that I can have with you. So that's something that I'm offering open to moms here in this group, that if you feel you're struggling with someone, please don't keep it inside, just speak up. The second important thing, that's my journey, and I have learned the hard way, and I'm still learning. Please do have things and assets in your name. I'm saying that because it is very important. We are not taught to do that. We are taught to be nurturers. We are taught to be givers. When I say assets, it also means not only your financial assets, but your natural creative assets. If you were a singer, you were a dancer, you were a painter while you were a kid, don't kill your inner child. Let that creative pursuit be there. Be it any form, take it Saturday, Sunday, spend 1 hour in a week, but create that asset, that personal creative asset for yourself. That's one. The second is any financial asset, please do read very. We become so dramatic. नहीं ये है वो उनके नाम पे है, मेरा जॉइंट है, मेरे बच्चे के लिए सब कुछ है. Great drama, it's good, but real life sucks. It does not work like that. It is important for you to have assets for your own self in your own name. Reach out to many organizations. I know of one organization called Wow by Priyanka Bhatia. She teaches beautifully about how women can manage their wealth themselves. Simple tips. So please go ahead and do that. I did that blunder in my life. Don't do that for yourself. I'm saying everybody, young girls, teenagers, adolescents, everybody, if you have money, pocket money milta hai, please work out a way where you have something in your name. The second is, like I said, natural creative pursuits of yours. That's your personal asset. Nobody in the world can take that away from you. But if you don't work on it, वो उस पे जैसे जंग लग जाता है ना, वो जंग लग जाएगा. And then finally, when after 43, 45, you want to try something, you want to just move out of that motherhood position, and you want to take a new role, you're lost. You know why that identity crisis happens? Because we had killed the inner child by that time. We had taken so many roles that we actually kill the child inside us. The life was meant only to be fun, enjoyable, and a fun, enjoyable and a joyous ride. You know what we've done to our life? We've made it very complicated. Come out of the spider web. The word is beautiful. That's exactly what I keep telling everybody. There are challenges. If you ask me today, and if I start writing on Facebook, people will have to do some crowdfunding to get me out of that debt. But I'm saying, that's not the point. The point is, if you've done mistakes, correct your mistakes and learn from it and start taking actions. There is always there, everybody out there on Facebook with that beautiful smiling pictures have some story to tell. So it's not that only your life is bad, or you are going through the tough phase. Everybody is going through some or the other story inside, and some drama is happening in their life, right? But nobody talks about it. So first is speak up. Second is don't kill your personal assets. Do keep working on your personal assets. The third most important is keep your financial assets in your name. It's okay if you want children to also have nominees, but in your name. I'm very, very clearly saying this. This is important. Joint nahi, apne naam pe kuch na kuch asset bana ke rakho. You never know what life has in store for you. So that's three things that I learned after a lot of blunders, and that's something that I can offer. The fourth offer was that I'm there on Facebook, reaching out to everybody. If you want anything, any kind of at least a person or a confidant or a friend that you're looking for, where you want to share something, I'm there for you. You do reach out to me and let me know what if there is something that I can help you. The fifth is more professional, where I say, I'm a communication coach, and I'm sure you figured out by the way I talk by now. So I am a communication coach, and if you are somebody who's planning to start your business, or struggling with talking in front of people or strangers, or striking conversations, or you're struggling with business meetings or team performance because of the way you're communicating, you can reach out to me. My website is sandhyacoach.com, and my you can find all my details there. You can reach out to me there. Let me know if I can help you as a coach. I basically work on the 3 I's of a person, which is called the inspire, impact, and influence. So I use all these methods to ensure that you become confident communicators. So if that's something that you want help with, do reach out to me. I'm available on Sandhya S. Pillai. I'm also available on my main group, where even Farida is part of, which is called the 3 I's and communication group.
All right, that was really, really nice and very, very informative. And you're really pouring your heart out in terms of helping, and in terms of especially the advice that you gave with regards to the assets and all. Really, we tend to get all dramatic and all that, but we in the later on we never know what is there in the future. So keeping our security and being financially secured is so important in today's world. So it was wonderful chatting with you, Sandhya. Thank you very, very
Same
much for
here.
accepting the invite. And to all the listeners for being so patient with us, we went out, went in, and thank you to Facebook. But we were not the kinds to give up. They must be, Facebook has also got to know that, oh my God, these women are not the kinds to give up. So once again, thank you,
Exactly.
Sandhya, and you have a wonderful evening ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Farida, for your patience, and thank you everyone who is watching us. I'm sorry I'm not able to see any comments, but do write to me. I'm available on Sandhya S. Pillai, and Farida, such a nice platform. I think there are 384 members on this platform. Please start interacting. Make it a platform where you can vent out, speak up, and seek help and support, because that's something that's missing in the world. And for Facebook is tricky, and it's trying to test our patience, but Facebook, you don't know us yet, so wait and watch. So thank you so much, Farida, and you were immensely patient with my technological handicap, but yes, it did happen. Finally.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. You have a great day as well.